Good morning. As many of you know, my name's Karen Millen. I'm a daughter of Jean Millen, and I did come to this church for a very long time. And I'm also the executive director at Rideau Hill Camp. There's a way we describe Rideau Hill Camp these days. Rideau Hill Camp is the heart, and Rideau Hill is the body. The heart pumps life, and the body carries it along. Rideau Hill Camp, the heart, runs during our summer months of July and August, where the energy, the courage, the friendship, and faith are sparked. But just like our hearts, the body has to keep it pumping and moving along. The body, Rideau Hill, is everything that supports and sustains our camp. Our rental programs, our community partners, our church gifts, our volunteers, our committee members, our donors, and this congregation. During May, June, September, and October, we rent the land to facilities such as schools, organizations, families for weddings and gatherings. Those rentals help fund our summer programs and maintain our beautiful space that we all cherish. The hope is in the new future that we'll be open year-round, so that this place is a place that everyone can come and enjoy every season. These are not separate things. They belong to one another. They support our very existence. When we say Rideau Hill Camp, many of you don't just think of a place. You think of memories. You think of campfire songs that you still somehow know the words and maybe some of the actions. You think of the dining hall buzzing with laughter and a lot of clanking of dishes. You think of muddy shoes at the cabin door. You might even think of the first time you were away from home. How many of you here attended camp, just camp in general? How many of you attended Rideau Hill Camp? I know that Hallville United Church sent a lot of kids to Rideau Hill Camp and still do. So, how many of you now have sent your child or a grandchild to camp? That connection, that shared story, is the heart and the body working together. Rideau Hill Camp was founded through a vision of the United Church of Canada, a belief that faith not only is something that we talk about, but something we live. A belief that young people experience God not only in these pews, but in the community, in nature, and in belonging. For generations, congregations just like this one have helped keep the heart beating through prayer, through volunteer, through leadership, and through sending your children. And today I want to share how the heart is still strong at Rideau Hill Camp and how the body, Rideau Hill, can continue to carry it forward. If you were to spend a day at Rideau Hill Camp this summer, there might be some things like this that you would see. You'd see campers gathering around the bell in the morning, maybe a little sleepy, but ready to greet one another, singing a morning song, then rushing to run their hands so that they can lumber into the dining hall and have breakfast together. You would see rec and nature programs, kids learning about the land, building confidence outdoors, and trying something new. You would see wide games that teamwork matters more than winning. You would see splashing in the pool and canoeing along the river. You would see evening vespers where you would hear questions being asked. You would see kids wondering aloud. Faith at camp is not about having the answers. It's about discovering the answers together. You would see leadership growing. You would see our staff forming their own supportive community and family within the camp premise. You would see them coming together over the summer, spending their summers building confidence in the other campers that come, spreading smiles and warmth, and alongside they would be growing themselves. You would see our leaders and training campers arriving unsure as they come, but leaving standing a little taller. Camp gives them responsibilities. It builds their toolbox with confidence that carries them into school, jobs, and just their own independence. And you would see something else too. Campers arriving one way and leaving another. A little bit more confident, a little bit more independent, and a little bit more that they are sure that they belong. Camp is where kids try something new. They climb a little higher, they speak up a little more, and they might even lead a team. And they discover that they can while doing those things. And woven through all this is community. Community. Shared meals, shared cleanup, shared stories, and shared joy. No one sits alone at camp for long. There's belonging in this holy work. As camp continues to grow, we are growing intentionally. One of the most important parts of our programming is our partnership with Minwash, our Indigenous community, as well as some other Indigenous communities that are coming on board. Through this relationship, campers have had the opportunities to hear teachings, listen to stories, and deepen their understanding of the Indigenous community. Truth and reconciliation is an important job, an important work in the United Church of Canada. It is equally important at Rideau Camp. And sometimes you see this impact in small but very powerful moments. Last year, after one of the teaching circles, one of the staff members quietly said to me, "I didn't know that before," adding that they so enjoyed their time when Minwash came to talk. This wasn't dramatic, it wasn't rehearsed, it was just honest. They weren't trying to make a statement and be something more. They just didn't realize, and they really liked the opportunity to learn and knowing that truth matters. At camp, this work is done in an age-appropriate way. Campers learn how to respect the land. They learn about listening. They learn that reconciliation is not just a word, it is a relationship. Sometimes this looks like sitting in circle and hearing teachings. Sometimes it looks like traditional crafts and creating. Sometimes it looks like thoughtful questions and listening carefully to those answers. Sometimes it looks like acknowledging that we are guests on this land and act accordingly. If we want the next generation to live out faith in a brave and compassionate way, this work deeply matters. It is faith becoming lived experiencing in how we treat one another, how we honor our land, and how we build a more just and loving community. Water break. Because many of you know and love Rideau Hill Camp, I also wanted to share where we're focusing some energy. The buildings at camp are well loved, well used, have been there a long time. Hundreds of campers move through those buildings and gathering spaces each season, along with many rental groups, and so hundreds of people. Part of our responsibility now is ensuring that it continues in our stewardship. This spring, a significant focus is ensuring that two of our main buildings, the dining hall and our rec hall, are more accessible. We're going to be adding ramps to allow people to get in and out of those buildings safely. This matters not only for campers with physical limitations, but also welcoming to all members of the community, regardless of our abilities. We're also looking at replacing some of the aging bunks. I don't know if the bunks have been there since we went, right? They're there, but they could be a little bit stronger, right? So we're looking at possibly doing some build-ins to make sure that it is safe and secure for a good night's sleep. It may seem simple, but safety does matter. It's not thinking about making this camp flashy. It's just making sure that it's strong enough to endure the next generations. As we continue working, we also are trying to make our camp more accessible for kids to come. So that means that our hope is that cost never is a reason a child can't come to camp. So that's something else we continue to work on, is what we call our sponsorship purse. That we need money in there, so if a child can't go, then we have something that we can fall back on, and we're also working within community partners that help sponsorship. So what does this mean for this congregation? First off, thank you. Thank you for being part of Rideau Hill Camp's story. Your history with Rideau Hill has been real and meaningful. Your families have shaped our camp. Your prayers have sustained it. But this invitation today is not only to remember, it is to continue. If you're a camp family, keep sending your kids. Encourage them to return year after year until maybe one day they are a leader. Encourage them to bring their friends. If you're a grandparent, tell your camp stories. Share why Rideau Hill Camp matters. Consider sponsoring or helping another child attend camp. If you've never sent a kid to camp before, this is your invitation. Camp is not just for our camp families. It is for our church families, our wider community. And once you first step into camp, you are part of our camp family. One of the most powerful ways you can support Rideau Hill Camp right now is simple. Invite one new family, share one story, spread our word. Registration is open, there's still space, and there's support if needed. There's always room around our campfire. Camp is not separate from church. What begins here in Sunday school, the songs, the questions, the prayers, the community feeling, continues at summer under the open skies at camp. Rideau Hill Camp is the heart, and Rideau Hill is our body. Together we bring life, purpose, and community. Because of this congregation's faithfulness, our story continues. And because of your willingness to share it, this circle can grow even wider. Somewhere this summer, a child will discover they are braver than they thought. And that moment will begin because of a community and congregation like this chose to keep our heart beating. Thank you. I have talked at different churches and different groups, and I always open it up for a little bit of questions if anybody has questions, but that's also something that we can do later if you want to just pull me aside downstairs. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about, and I was going to point out, but she's ill today, we do have a new board member that belongs to this congregation. So Kirsten Crowder, she joined our board just in January, so she will be promoting Rideau Hill Camp a lot. The one thing that's beautiful about her story is she never attended camp, no camp. And she came for the first time last year, part of our family camp, and brought her little Emily. And then Emily begged to stay for Pee Wee. And the most beautiful story, and again, this is a bit of a family story, but my brother-in-law, John Fraser, passed away last year, and he left some money, or some money was forwarded on his behalf, and that ended up sponsoring Emily and their family. So it was kind of this neat thing that just kind of happened only because Emily's like, I'm not leaving camp. How are we keeping me here, right? So we had to work some things. But the great thing, you don't have to be part of Rideau Hill Camp's board to be part of an extended community. We have committees, so we have property, marketing, fundraising, programming, it's kind of a smaller one, and governance, so our HR department. If you have any expertise in any of those areas or know somebody, they're great. Like, it's just, you can be part of a committee and you can just work on some, like, one little project, as opposed to being part of a board that has a little heavier hand on it, right? So I just wanted to give that little plug after everything I have to say. So thank you. Thank you for having me.